New Diddy revelations. Shyne breaks his silence. Faizon Love and Boosie Badazz with their dusty ass nets looking like gremlins supports Diddy. And what do you think about what Phaedra had to say? Diddy, you're in the spotlight.
In the dim light, in the spotlight, 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 in the dim light, in the dim light, in the dim light, in the dim light.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Parker's Couch and in the Spotlight. And we're continuing to put our spotlight on P. Diddy and the court case going on right now, facing all these allegations. Make sure you stop, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know what's wrong with you if you have not subscribed to the channel. This is the Parker's Couch channel, and we have various things going on. And our In the Spotlight series is surrounding breaking news or reviews of shows or just whatever we want to shine a spotlight on. That I'm doing here within this series. And P. Diddy is one of those spotlight cases that we are doing. There's been a lot going on, a lot shaking and moving within this case, and we're going to continue to follow it. Also, talk about it on the podcast, our podcast between me and my two brothers. It is released on Wednesdays. That's our decided day. So we released it yesterday or on Wednesday. So make sure that you check that out on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, all the things. So check out the podcast. Appreciate your support as we continue to do our thing. Now let's get into Diddy and what's going on. So I'm just going to catch you up on a few things happening. Some news that you probably may have heard, may have not gotten all the details or haven't had a chance to read. That's why I'm here, to provide some things for you and provide a little conversation so we can all be abreast of what's going on in the Diddy situation. So let's start off with Diddy first being denied bail a second time. As we know, he was denied bail that first time. Whenever that was that Tuesday, he was denied bail again on Wednesday. His defense proposed in court Wednesday that Combs live at home alone in Florida with a 24/7 security team that would monitor a pre-approved guest list. He offered to give up any access to a cell phone or internet. And in the words of his lawyer, Mark Adnafilo, I hope that's how you say your name. I'm sorry, sir, if I pronounced that wrong. Do nothing but prepare for his trial. It was reported too that he said he won't have any women's. I don't want any women's. What about the men's P. Diddy? That's also involved in this case. So I guess that didn't matter because Judge Andrew L. Carter Jr. said that there is no condition or combination of conditions to ensure he will not obstruct justice or tamper with witnesses. As we know, it's been widely reported how Diddy has constantly tampered with witnesses. It's been within the court cases. We know whenever Dawn came out with her court case, it was found out that Diddy contacted Kalina Harper the very next day that was out and called her 54 times in one day. And we know she did come out with that statement that I had questions about because, girl, you were mentioning that lawsuit 33 times. So you saw something. I don't think Dawn made that up 33 times, just saying. You didn't right out call Dawn a liar, but you kind of implied that she was lying. If y'all are in these same situations and you say her truth is her truth, but it's not my experience, you're saying the girl is lying without saying she's lying. But with what Dawn said and the way Diddy operates and the way your husband allegedly who was abusive to you as well, and they're connected and are friends, yeah, it seemed like it made sense why that statement was out there. So I didn't. I honestly did not really pay attention to that statement too much because my mind is kind of made up. I know innocent till proven guilty, but that's just where I am, and I'm not apologizing for it. So the judge denied that. Assistant United States Attorney Emily A. Johnson told the judge Tuesday that the alleged freak-offs were core to the case, claiming that the singer has the propensity to become violent at the slightest provocation. She said prosecutors had spoken with more than 50 witnesses, many of whom had witnessed the alleged violence, and that law enforcement had gathered more than 90 cell phone laptops and iCloud accounts. along with additional thumb drives and other technological devices, which supported the charges in the indictment. In court Tuesday, Johnson likened the rapper's case to that of R&B artist R. Kelly. That's been a popular one, as well as financier Jeffrey Epstein and cult leader Keith Raniere. But Mark, who previously also represented Raniere, surprisingly, at his 2019 federal trial in Brooklyn, called Combs' case night and day different, telling the judge that unlike the other three men, Combs is not accused of sexually abusing minors. Hmm. I do remember a lot of those court cases, though, and some of the original, all the ones going out with the 8 people against him, saying that there are underage people at these things too. But I guess officially, that's not in the in this case going on. He further argued that the sexual interactions had been between consenting adults and that the singer should not be ashamed or should not be shamed for his desires. Is it sex trafficking? He asked on Tuesday. Not if everyone wants to be there. We are not all better off if the federal government comes into our bedroom, he added. Then acknowledging the singer sitting in court nearby with 2 U.S. Marshals standing at attention behind him, he continued, they are coming into the man's bedroom and making judgments. Well, we see where this is going and what angle this defense is going to try to take, I guess. I don't envy his position to have to defend something like this. And I know it's the way our country works and everybody's legally entitled to a defense and all that. And some people, be actually innocent, but I just don't believe this is the case in this one. But I don't know. Everything about this man is just rubbing me the wrong way because first the way he tried to equalize him and Cassie in the relationship and saying, going at her and trying to imply everything that she did at that hotel with that video that we saw coming out and everything, and almost like it was her fault, blaming the victim. And now this, I guess you have to question everything. It's your client. This is the angle. Gosh, it just doesn't sit right with my soul. It really doesn't. I don't envy him. I could not do this. I just couldn't do this. I couldn't. Man, I lost words. Curious what y'all think about that. And wrestling those things, innocent between proven guilty and angles you take in arguing this case. I just don't know if some of the ways that he is wording things is how I would go about it. All right, but bail denied. At that, also what helped the second bail denial, Diddy's text messages were revealed to Cassie and what happened in that hotel situation. And the contents of that message was shared also in the courtroom and read out loud. So the contents of the text messages sent to Cassie from Shyne Diddy Combs following his 2016 hotel assault of the singer were revealed during the music mogul's most recent bail hearing. On Wednesday, the messages were made public in a New York court, which contributed to his appeal being denied for the second time. During the hearing, Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson read the text out loud, which followed unearthed footage of the brutal attack revealed earlier this year. And I've rewatched that footage after reading this news, and the ones that we did see, I don't know what was unearthed and stuff there, but the one that CNN had revealed there, but that was hard to watch. It was just really, really hard to watch, and it made me angry all over again. But according to Johnson, Diddy texted Cassie at the time, call me. The cops are here. I got 6 kids. Yo, please call. I am surrounded. You gonna abandon me all alone? In response, the R&B singer reportedly wrote, when you get effed up, you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. The defendant knew he had done something that could elicit police response, Johnson stated. Yeah. And even after that, Diddy, of course, was in his denial, what everybody does. Then when that footage was released, he came out, you remember the video he had apologizing and I was just such in a bad place and da da da, I'm gonna do better, blah blah, all that BS. The man is something is wrong. The man is sick. And we're gonna get what I was talking about with the defense, the way he's going about the case, the defense lawyer there. Some of y'all people out here, the reactions to Diddy, we're gonna get into that as well here in this little update. Y'all need to, yeah, I save it for that, but y'all need to go somewhere with the way that y'all are reacting to this. But yes, so that helped contribute to the bail being denied. Those text messages, he's clearly everything. I just believe Cassie 1000%. And everything else just really falls in line with what she started off. And that's why it's so hard to take any other position in this case. But we're going to continue to follow it as well. I've been shocked times before. Maybe not everything is accurate and true, but who knows? We will wait and see. Other texts reportedly read, I turned my head for a second and you get effed up and you drag me down the hall by my hair. I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head 2 good times. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. 3 days after Cassie sued, another woman allegedly texted and said, I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma. It makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, is exactly my experiences and my anguish. Once again, though, I believe he is definitely guilty, guilty, guilty. All right. But what was Cassie doing? All this was going on. What is she up to? Well, she was spotted strolling with Sarah Snedeker, who is working on a documentary about Combs. As we know now that, and I believe 50 Cent, if I'm not mistaken, is a part of it too or something, or working. I will have to reread that. I didn't look that part up, but I thought I remember seeing a headline by that. But I haven't read into the documentary yet or what's being done, but I know a documentary is in works. So yeah, she was out with her and she was caught just smiling and enjoying dinner and having a good time. I and it was just good to see. I hate to see women have to go through abuse like this. And I'm just glad in a way that things are coming around full circle, I guess. And there's some justice that is potentially gonna be done. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. All right. What else is new in the case, y'all? Well, let me pull up this article for you, but from TMZ, because what they are reporting is that the grand jury may be hearing from some new people. All right. The grand jury may hear from new people, a sex worker talking to federal prosecutors right now. And apparently there are others too. But the investigation into Diddy is far from over, with sources telling TMZ at least one person has been subpoenaed to testify in front of the grand jury. And we're told others are open to cooperating with federal prosecutors. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ at least 2 new people plan to cooperate with feds ongoing investigation of Diddy and are willing to testify in front of the grand jury in the coming days. We're told one of these people is a current sex worker who claims they were involved with Diddy back in 2014. Beyond the grand jury investigation, we're told that feds are still gathering info and interviewing witnesses. And our sources say that they've reached out to at least one sex worker that we know of. We've been in contact with this sex worker who says they plan to be interviewed by feds in New York City later this month. The federal case against Diddy has ramped up in recent days, with feds arresting the rap mogul in New York City Monday night. They charged him with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. All right. And we know if we just cover his bail was denied twice, and he's in the notorious detention center, MDC, in Brooklyn for now. This thing is just going to be heating up, y'all. And it's just going to be more validation. That's what I predict. More validation of what's being said. People are now feeling emboldened to come out. Like the walls are breaking. They see the man is behind bars and couldn't get out. 50 million to post bail, couldn't get out. So we're like, all right, maybe the wheels are changing. Maybe the world is changing around. We don't have to be in this fear. We can come out and tell our story. So I'm expecting to see more of that going on. And because, in that same note, because what the people I guess have seen that are doing this, it seems to be bad. And what I mean by that, by the people, the investigators who have gone in and raided the home of Diddy, yeah, it seems to be a lot going on. And we're going to talk about this one report where it was said that Diddy, as bad as Epstein, says an officer who saw his sex rooms, hidden cameras during the Miami mansion raid. So yeah, they're saying it was bad, y'all. And in this article, it's in the New York Post. So it says, sorted new details have emerged on the so-called sex rooms that Sean Diddy Combs allegedly kept in his Miami mansion, filled with sex toys, bondage gear, hidden cameras, and lingerie. According to a federal source who said the disgraced rapper is as bad as Epstein, one of the Department of Homeland Security agents who helped raid Diddy's Florida um, abode claimed that Music Mogul had rooms that were clearly dedicated to sets with cameras all around. So if you were in those sets parties, you were being recorded from every possible angle, including angles you wouldn't have known about. The source said, referring to the sometimes day long orgies he called freak offs, which we learned that they lasted multiple days, in which they received IVs, to keep them going and to replenish all the drugs. But these day-long orgies he called freak offs where drugged up victims were allegedly forced to have sex with male prostitutes. In my opinion, he's as bad as Jeffrey Epstein, the source added about the late pedophile who hanged himself behind bars. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. You hear that? Barely legal or barely illegal. Internally, officers said that they see a lot of similarities between Combs and Epstein, the well connected financier who served time for trafficking dozens of young girls in New York and Florida. Epstein, who was awaiting trial on additional charges, died in his jail cell in August 2019. On Tuesday, Combs was slapped with federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges, according to the bombshell indictment. He allegedly coerced females into days long set sessions as part of his alleged pattern of abuse dating back more than a decade. The indictment alleges that the women, some of who were still teenagers, were coerced into freak off sessions with male prostitutes that were often recorded while the music producer masturbated. And we talked about that in the court case, one of the live details that were shared in there. But the federal source told the Post that sometimes Diddy would allegedly just watch the romps from another room. He was watching this stuff remotely, y'all. He could just have it watched on his phone or just be somewhere else and watching what's going on. He also was able to watch the action remotely on his phone, cast into a TV in another part of the house. He didn't have to be in the room when the sets was happening, although he frequently was. Diddy's employees allegedly helped facilitate the six sessions by arranging travel, booking hotel rooms. That was all in the case. Court case documented it, where they would take the place and stock in the rooms with supplies. including drugs, baby oil, lubricants, and extra linen. We have evidence that these women didn't feel like they were free to go, the DHS officer said. And there's video evidence that some of the girls are clearly out of it while these men are having sex with them. And I shared it in this article, and some of us know this part. It says Combs would often also keep videos of the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating sessions, sometimes without his victims' knowledge, so he could use them as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. That's what the indictment alleges. Well, y'all, they say right there is just as bad. I know people like you want to do this black man thing, and we're gonna get into some of that. Everybody taking that route, but sometimes the facts are the facts, and you just gotta. It is what it is, as the people say. We'll get into it because now we're gonna talk about some reactions to Diddy. So Shyne was out talking, and we're gonna start with that one. We're gonna get producer. Go ahead and play cut A.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, I
and
saw
that
you spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday
I
cake.
went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombali. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
At the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez. Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freak offs?
Sir, I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
So Sean is referencing the case surrounding a December 1999 New York City nightclub shooting that was involved with him, Diddy, and J Lo at the time. They were all present, and Sean ended up being charged with assault and sentenced to 10 years behind bars. And then whenever he was released, he was deported back to Belize. And and Sean is out there doing his thing now. Y'all expect this man? You thought he was gonna have something. He kept it as positive as he could and tried to walk that balance, being the politician and stuff that he is. But he was like, this is the man who destroyed my life. who sent me to prison, who made sure I went, made sure I took the fall for things. This is the kind of man. Like, what am I supposed to have positive to say about this? But some of y'all still want to rock with this man. But some of y'all still think he's been, wrongfully. Everything about him is just so wrong. Okay. I mean, I don't know what y'all expect, how you expect Shyne to feel about this stuff. And he made sure he was like, I don't know nothing about them freak offs. Don't ask me nothing about that. Everything was on a professional level and just there. Yeah. And interesting enough in that situation, if you remember, let me pull this up, that the person shot Natania, she had some things to say as well. Finding out, the woman who claimed that Diddy shot her in the face back during that time, whenever she found out about in that same situation that Shyne was referencing, her daughter told her about what happened with Diddy. So Natania Reuben shared in a recent interview that her daughter Nirvana informed her on Monday about Diddy's arrest by federal authorities. As we previously shared, he now faces 3 serious charges: sex trafficking through force, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution. She says, "Mommy, guess who's in custody?" She reportedly said to the Daily Beast on Wednesday. I asked her if it was somebody locally in town that we knew, and she was like, "No, he's bigger." Once Reuben realized it was Combs, she said she screamed out to God, "Thank you, merciful Father." If you remember, in December 1999, Reuben was at a nightclub in Manhattan with a friend when the rapper known as At Bad and his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, showed up for a party. At the party, Combs became involved in a heated verbal dispute with a supposed drug dealer, which quickly escalated into gunfire. Yeah. You know, sometimes miracles happen. Praise God. That's what I would be saying too if I was in that situation, and if this legitimately happened to me at the time. Yeah, that's exactly how I would feel. So yeah, these kind of reactions going about the way that I would expect they go. Now let's talk about some that took a little opposite direction than what you might expect. Let's start off with Faizon Love. Let's go to him. Producer, play cut B.
I need y'all to help me. We all heard about Puffy, and I see a lot of people, yay. I'm confused. The Cassie thing, I understand. I think you should definitely lock this nigga up. Put hands on the young lady. But I don't understand the other shit. Can y'all help me? When has being nasty been a federal crime? And I'm glad they told me. I didn't know there was a limit on baby oil. I'm getting a few, because we get ashy. But you get a massage or something or whatever. I don't know. Please tell us the new rules for niggas. Because maybe they're not new rules, actually, because I think it was 1800s. There was this very famous boxer named Jack Johnson, and he was whooping ass. Everybody ass, but mostly white folks ass. He was whooping a lot of white folks ass. And he had a white woman, Mae West. They couldn't stop this black man. So they gave him trafficking. In the 1800s, taking a white woman across the lines was If he didn't do that, he wouldn't have stopped Parks. I thought I told you that we won't. Make it make sense. We need to know the new rules. You can't take anybody on vacation. You can't take anybody to Vegas. Damn sure don't bring them to Atlanta. I need y'all to help me because I don't know the new rules. Please tell me what was illegal.
Y'all, I'm just at a loss for words. A loss from words. And what this Negro just got up there and did. Now, you want to start off with, yeah, you can't. And this, if you remember though, people were not believing Cassie. They were not believing these things happen. But whenever you get video evidence that you cannot dispute, you can't refute it. It's like, oh yeah, that's wrong. He need to be locked up for that and da 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 da. I don't think you truly believe that, because if you never saw that footage, you would not have that same reaction right there with what happened with Cassie, first of all. But then to talk about some new rules, like there are new rules out here. You can't take a woman anywhere. You can't take them on vacation. You can't take them to, definitely not Atlanta. What are you talking about? These were not, what's being alleged is not taking people on vacation. It's not taking people to have a consensual good time. Like, do you understand the charges of what's being alleged? And you're reducing this to just being freaky? Yo, what is going? I understand women. I feel bad for you. Sometimes I can't believe I'm a man sometimes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm connected to this group of people who think like this. Mm, I just don't I don't understand. I do not understand for the life of me this type of reaction. Like, how is this even a thought process? Like, if you think the man is innocent, you need to keep that to yourself. I don't think you need to be out here outspoken about these things, because these charges are very, very serious. And this is nothing like your average day, just being sexually adventurous type of situation. There's plenty of that goes on in the world in a consensual manner, where people know how to conduct themselves and still know that they are present. They're not drugged up. They're not underage, allegedly people around. You're not being transported out for the form of for prostitution. I I just don't get. And then the Jack Johnson thing. What is he talking about? Somebody please help me. Yes, Jack Johnson was a boxer. Yes, he was, and he had a white woman, and they were talking about trafficking and throwing these things. We understand racism and the way that it works. What does that have to do with the Diddy situation? You can't just throw race out there and stuff that have happened to black men in the past, or things that may happen to black men and stuff at times that are clearly racist. This is not one of those situations. This is not just white people going out to get Diddy. First of all, look at the people who have come out with him against cases on him. A lot of those are our black sisters, our mothers, our cousins, our aunties. Does that mean anything to you? Or is a black man so much more powerful in your limited mind and your thinking with your crusty, dustin looking ass, to have the audacity and the gall to just feel like they're just throwing charges out of nowhere at this man just because he's black? I, it makes no sense. There is no connection, no parallel, nothing at all to make this make sense. And if that wasn't bad enough, y'all, if that right there wasn't bad enough, Boosie Badazz, he had to make sure he was like, hold my beer, because I'm just about to one up you here. If you don't think I can one up you, well, I'm gonna show you. Well, let's pull up this little tweet from Boosie Badazz. I feel Diddy in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done. Flew bitches out for threesomes. He's just freakier. We actually go call women prostitutes who fly in willingly. That's not what's being alleged, sir. To be with they partners for sex. This man is really dumb. If that's the case, if you've been flued out and had sex, you should be labeled a prostitute. If that's the case, 80%, he said 80% of y'all now, 80% of the women reading this in trafficking. Hashtag hell nah. You're a celebrity. You gotta fly a PUSSY in. How else you gonna get that PUSSY? You're never in one place. When I saw that video, I was pissed off at this ninja, like he really got a problem, but facing life in prison for doing basically what so many other entertainer has done. Hashtag disagree. Well, sir, first of all, you are telling on yourself. Feds, go investigate. We already know what you do with your own children and how you bring in prostitutes and stuff to break their virginity. We already know about those things. So yeah, you already should be in jail yourself because you're a predator. I guess a predator knows a predator. Maybe you and Faizon, y'all been at these parties, huh? Because because obviously you don't think anything about this is wrong. So something is twisted and messed up in your little dusty ass brain already. Like, excuse me, sir. And the thing, that line kills me. It's like, oh, everybody's doing it. Everybody does it. No, everybody is not doing that. Not every celebrity is operating that way. And you don't have to fly anything out. If nothing is wrong with a person having a good time, if it's consensual. And those women who do that, or women that's grown adult business. That's their life and grown adult business. And if people want to go willingly and have sex and do that, it's a free country. You're a free person. Go ahead and do that. Ain't nobody criticizing that. What's being alleged is sex trafficking. In some cases, kidnapping type behavior, like a coercion, forcing, making people do things without their will, drugging people up, and making them do things that they don't even remember, and then threatening them, holding it over their head, making it impossible for them to say anything. He's making them remain victims, is what's being alleged. Read the court cases and see what the people are saying is happening. Because it's not at all what you are typing and writing here and what you're defending. Some of y'all are just showing yourselves. It needs to be documented. I want y'all to document every ninja and everybody else who is out here talking out the side of their neck during this whole case. Because let me tell you, first, with Boosie and all y'all, when he was coming for the LGBTQ community, when he's coming for all of us, what everybody's then a straight world is riding with him. Yeah, you can't say nothing. You can't do this and da 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 da. And y'all just let this man participate and move in weirdo behavior because for some reason, straight men just take up for each other no matter what. And it's beyond reason. If y'all sit here and defend this man based on what's being alleged, You got issues. I can see if you say, we want to let due process happen and stuff, and have some kind of statement like, if what's being said is true, this man deserves XYZ. There should not be no strong other defense like this man is being wronged. I'm just really confused. Oh gosh. Oh, and back to Faizon. I forgot about the baby oil. How I forget about that? And him talking about the baby oil. Talk about we all get ashy. What's wrong with all that baby oil? We can't buy baby oil no more. 1,000 bottles. I I just can't. Y'all people don't think. All right. But I'm telling you, just telling on yourselves because y'all are doing the same nasty shit. That's what's going on. And now you're worried about your own ass. Because you're like, what's wrong? What's wrong with this? This is what all of us do. I'm glad the world is changing up. I'm glad. This stuff going on for decades, this nasty and disgusting. Thank God for change at times. Whoo, 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 whoo. Y'all are some ignorant people.
Any comment on Diddy?
Everyone is innocent under our laws until proven guilty.
Right.
So I believe he's innocent until proven guilty. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
Bye-bye.
So Phaedra said just kind of like what I was saying, that if you want to take a road of innocent until proven guilty, you can have that line. And it's not really much people can say against that because that is the law. That is what we, abide by here within the US of A. Now, I think she could have balanced it a little bit more, because I think you can still show empathy for the victims or the alleged victims in a statement like that and craft it out a little bit better. But I'm not going to critique that too much or anything. But you know what? Shady Feifei, what it does remind us of, though, is that lawyers do lie. And so, like, I'm thinking about this defense lawyer and everything that he's doing and the ways that he's crafting this case, which I don't agree with, just from a character point of view. But yeah, Phaedra, we all remember how you lied on Candy and lied on her hard for a lawyer. Now, I was a Phaedra girl more than a Candy girl when in terms of Real Housewives, more because of personality and just the reads and everything that was brought and everything to the show. But it ain't nothing positive you can say about that situation and what happened. And that was effed up. But you know what? I love seeing Phaedra on things like Dancing with the Stars, which she's killing right now. Those clips. I was like, all right, go ahead, Phaedra. Um, her on the Traders season 2. That's no undoubtedly why they won an Emmy. And I know that dollar bank is going up now. I want to see her on things outside of the Housewives franchise. So yeah, keep doing more stuff like the Traders, like the Dances with the Stars, because just your fake and phony personality does not work for me for the Bravo network. Even though there's fake and phoniness there, it's a way to do it. And right now, you're just too protective of your image, where it just does not read as real at all. So yeah, keep doing these other things and making this new kind of new reinvention of yourself. Because those of us who know, we remember, and what you never had to really own up to. Yeah, we remember that. But if others, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me get the screen. I ain't got no green screen, so get it clear. You know what I mean? If others can get away with it and it's like nothing ever happened and their careers continue to go on and on, why not? All right. Just you move into space that makes sense. But as far as this with Diddy, I understand not really wanting to get into it. But yeah, that response with me, just fine. Could have been better, but fine. I guess I end on this one with who else came out? I saw Christian Combs, Publicist, came out and had some things to say. we'll go ahead and just pull up her little statement. It is whatever. I'm a little worked up right now because these guys, just thinking about them and how ignorant they are. But let's go ahead and share it. Linda Luna, you kind of could have just left this all alone. But I'm gonna go ahead and just share what she said, because she said a whole bunch of nothing, in my opinion. But here it is. This Diddy controversy is truly so unfortunate. I work with his son Christian as his publicist in the music area, and have worked with Justin too. And I've been around Diddy many times. I've been to his parties and after parties, and I've never seen what they're claiming. But I do feel like maybe he was trying to change over. Excuse me. I do feel like he was maybe trying to change over the past year, but it seems like it was too late, and his past transgressions have come to light, and now he has to face the consequences. But let's remember, no one is limited to God's grace and mercy. So hopefully he will find redemption within that. And if it's God's will, he'll get another chance to make it right and redeem himself with those that have been affected by him. But even if not, hopefully his consequences will serve as a proactive example and change in this industry, especially towards women, because there are a lot of other powerful men in this industry that I have witnessed do worse, if not the same as the allegations in this case. So, anyways, God bless him and the family and the victims, as they deserve justice for whatever is truth in all this. And may God have mercy on all the people casting stones or judgment or opinion. Another one trying to tightrope. Your publicist for the Suns, and you're doing an awful job. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be one of those casting stones and making a judgmental opinion. I think this is a terrible post. I've never been a publicist in my life, but I think I could have crafted something a little better than this, than to put up there. But anyway, and if you, ma'am, have witnessed worse than what's alleged, then sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation for prostitution as the three federal charges. And we're not even talking about the allegations in the 8 cases that were brought up with him with the other folks. And you have seen worse? Well, have you opened your mouth? Have you said anything? Have you turned these people in? Because those men clearly need to be off it in jail, under the jail. If you have seen worse, witnessed worse with your own eyes, well, I hope you did something about it. I I don't understand people. I just don't. Y'all, I'm at a loss. You're trying to defend the indefensible. There's some things you just cannot defend. Like, there are ways to craft it about letting, due process, like, take its action. And you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. And that's fine to say. Because it's true. But the way y'all are crafting statements and coming out in support and want to talk about others having judgmental opinions. Let me know what y'all think about some of these reactions, any updates in the news. If you have any other Diddy news you want to put out there, go ahead and feel free. Participate in the chat, do all the things. But we'll keep it going and keep shining the spotlight on this case. Stay tuned to the couch, y'all. But that wraps up the Diddy news for today. And you know what? I guess a final thought, if I would say, if you see something, say something. Okay. I know y'all have heard that forever. But if you see something, say something. Because this can't be going on. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And take note, y'all, like I said, of who's out here talking out the side of their neck. Peace.